Atomic Habits by James Clear. There is too much to unload from this book into a short video like this, but I really wanted to touch on a few things in this book that I found really interesting. As we go along in this video, I will be sharing information and quotes from the book about atomic habits and the surprising power of tiny habits that I found really insightful. Some of us put off forming good habits because we find it too hard or we don't see progress quick enough. We try to change habits but feel like we are failing, and so we give up. And if I'm honest, this has happened to me a number of times. But before we get started, I would appreciate if you could subscribe and like my channel. Too often we convince ourselves that massive results require massive action, but that isn't the case. James Clear talks about the 1% rule. Say you work on getting 1% better every day. By the end of that year, you will be 37 times better because of the power of compounding. Habits are the compound interest of self-improvement. So let's draw a graph. On one side we label it results, on the other side we label it time, and we start at 1. So if you get 1% better every day for 1 year, the compound of that effort will make you 37.78 times better. But if you get 1% worse every day for a year, it will bring you close to 0. Time magnifies the margin between success and failure. It will multiply whatever you feed it. Most of us think when we start trying to get better each day, our trajectory should look like this. It should go up in a linear fashion. However, that's not the case. The results of our efforts are often delayed. At first, our progress is quite slow. It feels like we are going nowhere. In fact, this area here is referred to the valley of disappointment. It's not until months or years later that we realize the true value of the previous work we have done. All big things come from small beginnings. If you find yourself struggling to build a good habit or break a bad one, it's not because you have lost your ability to improve. It's often because you have not yet crossed the plateau of latent potential. This is the lag of time between what you think should happen and what actually happens. One of the examples James brings forward is complaining about not achieving success despite working hard is like complaining about an ice cube not melting when you have heated it from 25 degrees Fahrenheit to 31 degrees Fahrenheit. Your work isn't being wasted. It has just been stored. All the action happens at 32 degrees. The ice starts melting from then on. Goals versus systems. We are told in order to succeed, we need to set specific, realistic goals. But results have very little to do with goals that are set, but more to do with systems that were put in place. Goals are good at setting a direction, but systems are best for making progress. The purpose of setting goals is to win the game. The purpose of building systems is to continue playing the game. Goals are the results you want to achieve. Systems are about the process that leads to those results. True long-term thinking is goalless thinking. It's not about single accomplishment. It is about the cycle of endless refinement and continuous improvement. The problem with goal setting is winners and losers want the same goals. So therefore, the goal cannot be what differentiates winners from losers. Achieving a goal is only a momentary change, so goals can actually restrict your happiness. Goals are at odds with long-term progress. The goal in any sport is to finish with the best score, but it would be ridiculous to spend the whole game staring at the scoreboard. The only way to actually win is to get better each day. Here are some examples. The goal is not to read a book. The goal is to become a reader. The goal is not to run a marathon. The goal is to become a runner. The goal is not to learn an instrument. The goal is to become a musician. Atomic habits are small routines and behaviors that compound to produce incremental positive outcomes over time. You do not rise to the level of your goals, you fall to the level of your systems. Changing our habits is challenging for two reasons. Number one, we try to change the wrong thing. And number two, we try to change our habits in the wrong way. There are 3 layers of behaviour change. 1, a change in our outcomes. 2, a change in our processes. Or 3, a change in our identity. Habit loops. Habits are self-reinforcing. This means that doing the habit and receiving the reward strengthens your desire to do it again. You can use this to your advantage when you want to change your behaviour. There is a clear step-by-step process that actions travel through to become a habit. The 4 steps of the habit loop combine to form a neurological feedback loop. These are the 4 steps of the habit loop. Number 1, the cue. The cue triggers your brain to initiate a behaviour. It is a bit of information that predicts a reward. Cue is about noticing the reward. Number 2, the craving. The craving is the motivational force behind every habit. Without some level of motivation or desire, without craving a change, you have no reason to act. Craving is about wanting the reward. Number 3, the response. The response is the actual habit you perform. Whether a response occurs depends on how motivated you are and how much friction is associated with the behaviour. Response is about obtaining a reward. And number 4, reward. The reward is the end goal of every habit. You chase rewards because they satisfy you and they teach you. I want to share 2 of the examples James provides about the formation of a habit loop. Cue equals waking up. Craving, wanting to feel alert. Response, drinking coffee. Reward, feeling alert. Cue, walking into a dark room. Craving, you want to be able to see. Response, you flip the light switch. Reward, you satisfy your craving to see. Ultimately, this loop allows you to create and reinforce automatic habits. The more you practice this habit loop with any particular habit, you stop noticing the habit because it becomes something you do automatically. Clear provides 4 laws of behaviour change. These provide a certain set of rules for creating good habits and breaking bad ones. How to create good habits. First law, make it obvious. Most of our habits are automatic. We don't even think about them. We need to be aware of our habits. We need to use the point and calling technique to consciously acknowledge behaviour. Second law, make it attractive. Desire is the engine that drives behaviour. Every action is taken because of the anticipation that precedes it. It is the craving that leads to the response. Find that something appealing that makes you take the action that you want to develop into a habit. What is immediately rewarded is repeated. What is immediately punished is avoided. Third law, make it easy. Reduce the friction associated with the good behaviours. When friction is low, habits are easy. The amount of time you have been performing a habit is not as important as the number of times you have performed it. Fourth law, make it satisfying. There needs to be a reward in order for us to want to repeat it. In the long run, the quality of our lives often depends on the quality of our habits. One of the best ways to build a new habit is to identify a current habit you already do each day and then stack your new behaviour on top. This is called habit stacking. Now, this book is filled with great advice and I really recommend you read it. The big take I got out of this book is setting processes and not goals. It's going beyond goals. not making goals the be-all and end-all. Once I reach a goal, then I continue to put the same techniques in place to continue to get better. And the other takeaway I got from this book was that trying to get a little bit better every day, the 1% rule, has a compounding effect. And I may not see results straight away, but the results will come. I hope you found this video informative. Please subscribe and like, and thanks for watching.